Everyone, hello, hope you're doing okay. Chocolo, Roberto here, but not well. I guess it's for a video review actually. It is. Yes, for France review special. Basically, we're not reviewing France, we're reviewing various products from France that I've received via basically a sort of snack box, monthly snack box subscription I get from Snack Surprise. And I'm not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by them, so the quality of the products may not be the best. They might be great. We don't know. We'll find out, I guess, is the gist of it. But I'm not sponsored in any way by them. But they are, just for full disclosure, that is where I'll be getting the products from. So you get like a sort of box so big from them every month, to generally themed around a different month. It's great ammunition for my channel because it means I can do an unboxing and I can also do a live review of those products as well. So it's quite good actually, works quite well for me. But as I say, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape or form. So just so you're aware of that. So hope you're all doing okay. It's yeah, did I do a live review last week? I don't think I did. I was away last week. So yeah, so it's hopefully trying to get back on track of things after a bit of a cold and having a brief period away. Now I've got another weekend away at some point in November. I'm not sure when it is, so got that coming up as well. So there will be another week end where I'm not available, but generally, hopefully, it should be pretty much pretty much constant between now and Christmas. Other than that one weekend, which I have no idea when it is, but I'm sure I'll let you know when it is anyway. Yeah, so quite an interesting one. I don't know. I feel a bit like I don't know. I'm just a bit worried I'm coming down with another cold basically. So hopefully I'm not. Having said all that before, fingers crossed I'm not. But yeah, this week has been a bit of a funny one. I've been a bit I wouldn't say not at the top of my my game this week. I don't know. After coming back from the weekend away and things like that, I felt very very tired afterwards. And I don't know. I'm kind of an introvert, like by which I mean the proper definition of the word, where sort of social interactions and things not tire me out, they really do, so afterwards I know I just had a massive come down where I was just so tired from just constantly being active with other people, so it's one of those really. So yeah, maybe that was what it was. Maybe it was a cold, maybe it was a bit of both, I don't know. So hopefully it's nothing that will come down again, because I really can't be doing with another cold, I tell you. I don't really, just affect the channel so much. So fingers crossed I'm okay. Fingers crossed. So yes, what to say, we've got a box full of stuff. Now the French one, I don't know, the Snack Surprise boxes, they tend to be a bit hit and miss sometimes, I've found. Sometimes they're really good and interesting products, because they can't just fill them up with, obviously as you imagine in France and other European countries, there'll generally be Milka products available, your sort of Haribo's, all the sort of typical brands and things like this. So, Toblerones, all that, this, that and the other, the typical ones. So they obviously have to try and make it so that the box is not filled full of stuff that you could get in your own country, sort of typically stuff. So it can be quite difficult, I imagine, to find some unique products. And some of them, I don't know, some of the countries, they manage to get reasonably good stuff in. Some of them they don't. Some of them, I don't know, they obviously are quite unique products, but not necessarily ones that are really suitable for a snack box, I think. I always quote this one, that Romanian, glucose tablet thing they did that time. I don't know if you remember that one. It's probably the worst thing I've ever tasted. Pretty much ever, I think. And so that was not a pleasant experience. But so the France one, from looking at it, it's a funny one. I'm not quite sure whether it's a bit in between those things. As I say, I say the hit and miss. I'm not sure. They're sort of very nuanced products, we'll say. So we'll get into it in a second. And hi there, Rick. How's things going for you? Hope you're doing all right today, Rick. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes. Oh dear. Yeah, that's probably about the extent of my French. I don't know if you're. I know you're from Canada, so maybe you do speak a bit of French. But yeah. But bonjour. That's about it. What else do I know? Au revoir, I know that. How do you say how are you in fact? I can't remember now. I can't remember how you say it now. Yeah, I can't remember. No matter, I can't remember how you say how are you in French now anymore. No, comment top too. I think that's how are you, I think. But there we go. I mean, I think that's maybe that is it actually, or what is your name? I'm not sure. Hi, Divinus. Yes, how things go for you today? Yeah, hope you're doing all right. Good to see you again. Good to see you. Ah, comment ça va? That's it. Yes. Yeah. And is it ça va bien? Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? Well, yes. Well, there you go. Hello, my friend. The translation one before. Yeah. So thanks so much. Yeah. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for the. As I say, I don't know. I did a bit at school. I've done a bit of Spanish since then. That's about it, really. Yeah. So there we go. Hope everyone's doing all right. It's good to see you all. Got to say, quite a few nuanced products, I think you'd say. They're all sort of. I don't know. They're all major brands, but they do come across as a bit different than normal. So, for instance, we'll start with this one here, and this is what I'm kind of getting at. It's a loo. I mean, I can't even read them. What does that mean? It's a bit difficult. Petit something or other. Petit Dier, I think. Not sure. Variable picket. I'm not sure. It looks like basically two biscuits. We do have an accompanying pamphlet from Snack Surprise, so they do tell us what the things are. which is useful because also you can't read them. But of course, they don't always come in the same packaging, which is another thing. But yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, okay, I think it's this one here. I think they've obviously took it from a bigger box, I think. Looks like petite school children or something like that. Pocket biscuit écoliers, and isn't that school, I think? I don't know. Anyway, we can see the problem here. But anyway, this simply indulgent pocket biscuit combines loose, crunchy butter biscuit with delicious milk chocolate. Perfect snack to take on with you on the go. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yes. See, also, yeah. You're French as well. Heard the pebbles are going up your... Yeah, I think, well, yeah, basically, yes. There's been lots of weird stuff going on. I think it's a combination of a few things. But long story short is obviously antics in Eastern Europe have not helped. But I think also there was some kind of weird price cap on them or something that's come to an end. Basically, I think they've been subsidised generally. I think this is just, I'm not an expert on it, could be wrong, but I think the gist of it was we were paying less than we should have been anyway. And I think that for whatever reason that came to an end, and we're now paying what we should have been paying a long time ago. It's kind of what it is, I think. But obviously that's not going down well with people. And then it's all coming with a perfect storm. And it was a typical really, just because I just changed my electricity supplier, and I think they kind of went. This was last year, and he just went under basically. But having said that, for some reason my electricity supplier or gas supplier has been giving me money. I don't know why this is. I don't know if I've been paying too much. I don't know. But he sent me a standing order, and for some reason they're giving me money back, and I don't know why that is. I have no idea. I'm not, but yeah, I keep getting refunds from them, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm assuming it's probably a mistake, but obviously if it's not, that'd be great. Yeah, break out the candle lanterns. Yes, this is it. I know, honestly. Yeah, who's that quote? Was it Edison or something like that? He said in the future the rich will burn candles. I think he said when he invented the light bulb. Yeah, so which is kind of true up until now, anyway. Yes. Do you have an electrical wood stove heat? Yeah, I have. It's gas basically. I have an electric oven, but the stove itself is gas. Yeah, so so I don't know. Yeah, so have to be careful, I guess. Well, I guess your boiler's here, which is your thing that does all your heating. That's gas, I think, as far as I know. So yeah. Alright, so let's have a look at these shenanigans then, shall we? Let's have a see. Yeah, what's it like in Korea then, Rick? What's the gist of it there? I'm assuming this will be like those typical Lou biscuits, I think. Yeah, look at that, yes. I think you generally get these in big packs. So snack surprise here, for better or worse, they've kind of split out a pack of biscuits and sent each one an individually wrapped one. So I don't know why I guess because they couldn't fit the big biscuit thing in it. But it's basically one of those individual biscuits you get, sort of pack of biscuits essentially. I don't know whether I like that or not, whether it's a good idea that they've done that. But it is a nice looking biscuit, I think you'd say. For sure. Let's get the old smaller camera on there. You can see there it is, look at that. Oh, I've got some measuring tools. So we'll see what's it on there. Is it even on? Hopefully the battery's not run out. Oh, there we go, okay. It was on there, 0. It seems to be doing something, so that's good. Right, so obviously a bit knobbly at the end, so we're going to be, don't know, mid nobble to peak nobble maybe. Yeah, something like that. We have to bear that in mind. About 5.8 centimeters now. And the width, same problem again. So we'll probably do peak nobble to in between nobble, I guess, for want of a better term, sort of roughly anyway. Bit difficult to do. I think I'm doing that anyway. Won't be too worried about it, but 4.4 essentially. There we go. And the height, now a big slab of chocolate on top. I think you'd definitely say that's a good slabbage there. Typically looks a bit like a morning coffee in the UK, but with a bit of chocolate on top. I'm not against that idea, but you can obviously see that it is like a picture with a protruding frame. So, we'll be measuring the height of the frame part, but so it's obviously not indicative of the chocolate generally, but about a centimetre. Not too bad. Excuse me, to clear my throat there. In Korea, the floors are heated, quite a culture shock. Very hot water pipes are installed in concrete floors in apartments. I don't sleep on the floor, but many people do. Oh, I see, right. Yeah, underfloor heating is becoming definitely a bit more common in the UK. It didn't used to be a thing, but definitely these days it is. Yeah, these tiled kitchens and stuff like that, just to keep them cooler. Tiled bathrooms, but it used to be before, I think it was all that linoleum or lino that used to do it all. I think that's what it was. That's the real name for it. So didn't really didn't need it then, but obviously with all these tiles and things. But yeah, I imagine it's a good way of keeping you warm. Yeah. Well, let's give this a bit of a nibble then. I think it looks very nice. I do think it looks very nice, actually. Yeah. Let's give it a bit of a nibble, see what it's like. Yeah, it's a lovely chocolate, actually. You see it's quite thin. Certainly looks thicker on that side, doesn't it, than this side? We'll give it the old measure treatment as well, since we've got access to that now. It's still a bit lumpy because of the picture and things like that. It's not flat, but you know, we'll measure it on the flat bit as best we can. About 8.4 centimetres, so that's about 1.5 centimetres there. But it's a very nice biscuit, actually. I mean, well, I say it's a nice biscuit. It's the chocolate really makes it, you know. You've got the sort of relatively plain biscuit, but the chocolate on top, very nice. Yeah, very nice indeed. Sort of creamy Belgian chocolate, I would say, but quite indulgent. I quite like it, actually. It's very nice. It's very It's just got a lovely, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's overly sickly. It's not quite as creamy as you'd think it would be by saying it's a Belgian chocolate, but it's clearly that way inclined. But it's very nice, yeah. Now, the biscuit's relatively plain. I think it works perfectly with the chocolate. A bit like a chocolate digestive, but the biscuit's a bit more, let's say, morning coffee, like less digestive-like. And also, you know, a bit less oaty sort of thing, or whatever, you know, digestives are made from. But the chocolate's a lot more thicker, a lot more indulgent, a lot more, you know, proper, I guess you'd say. A lot more of an experience. It's very nice, yeah. Yeah, hi there, Huffy. How are you doing? Yeah, good to see you, Huffy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. But yes, definitely a yummy one, definitely. On the Yumometer. Yeah, it's definitely a good for dunking, I think, as well. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a biscuit that wouldn't taste better when dunked, although I have found a couple. I can't remember what they were off the top of my head, actually, but there was a couple that just didn't quite work when dunked. But generally, not too bad. Yeah, right. Well, I don't rate them out of 10, but you can just double my score if you want, Huffy. Yeah, I find it a bit of a waste of time rating things out of 10, to be honest with you. I don't, you know, like basically, what's the difference between a 3 and a 4 and a 2 and a 3 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and stuff like that, and a 7 and a 6. You know, so I find them, I don't like rating things out of 10. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a. My friend was telling me actually that they did ask people to rate things out of 10 at one point, but basically behind the scenes, you know, for some kind of petition. But behind the scenes, they just basically halved it because it's just doesn't really. I find it doesn't mean anything to rate things out of 10. But sometimes I do give things half marks, so I must admit you could say that's rating things out of 10. But basically, I found that's just to differentiate between the 4s and the 5s and stuff like that, just to add a little bit of extra nuance there. But you can generally still see, you know, something like being a 2 out of 5 is below average, where 3 is the average. And if it's not quite as bad as another 2, I can give it 2.5. So I've got a bit of flexibility, basically. Yeah, so there we go. Yes. Blue the Cadbury store. Puffy Blues. Hope so now. Yeah. Well, you can easily give it a rating. Yeah, you can easily give it a rating. Just you know, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you've had it before, but but yes, yes. I think for me, obviously, I'll say double it if you want. But I think for me, this one, it's not bad. I think a chocolate digestive is basically a 3 out of 5, I'd say. And I think this one's pretty much a bit better than that. I don't think I'd go quite as high as saying a 4, but it's not far away from a 4. But I think for me, it's a 3.5 out of 5. Not bad at all, this one. Not bad at all. So if you want Huffy, you can say that's a 7 out of 10. But yeah. Or whatever you want. Or 70 out of 100, 700 out of 1,000. Yeah, anything you like. But there we go. But yeah, no, not too bad. Not too bad, that one. I quite liked it. Not going to blow your socks off, but a nice biscuit. And I think, like Rick said, definitely, you know, definitely one that you could benefit from dunking. Definitely benefit from dunking. Well, this is it exactly, Huffy. That's exactly the problem. Yeah, 700 out of 1,000 sounds better. It does exactly. That's the problem. Yes, are these boxes your opinion? I don't know actually, Rick. To be honest with you, I imagine probably. But maybe not, you know, maybe not. It'd be nice if they did give some more obscure ones. They might have done an Australian one if I remember correctly from someone else saying it. Might have been Scotty, I'm not sure, but But so far they have all been European, yeah. I imagine it's probably easier for them to get European products, basically, for one reason or another. But, you know, it's not to say that they can't somehow get others from, like, an import deal or something like that. Yeah. Alright, yes, let's have a look. So we've got another one here, another Lou one, actually. So you can see, again, it's these other, like, you know, nuanced products, you know, where they're sort of a bit like this, basically. But nothing problems, nothing bad with that. Now, I think that's Charmony, I guess. Yes, delicious Orange something or other. Yeah. We can have a look at the old blurb as well. We'll have it in here. Let's have a look. Chamonix à l'orange. There we go. Made using the same 100-year-old recipe. The Chamonix cake is filled with orange marmalade. It's the perfect sweet cake. It does sound nice, has to be said. It does sound very, very nice. Does it taste nice, of course? Well, we'll find out. Yes. French chocolate orange sounds delicious. Yeah, it certainly, it does sound nice. I mean, whether there's chocolate in it. Did it say chocolate? I just read it out there without really thinking about what I was saying. Orange marmalade, so it might actually have chocolate in there. It might have actually chocolate. Anything with a French name sounds nice. Yeah, well, that's true. That's very true, Huffy. That's very true. Oh, I just have a quick drink. My throat's a bit... I still feel like I've not quite recovered from that cold, or I've got another one. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a pain, really. I've still, every now and again I just get a bit of a reminder that I've had a cough at some point. Alright, here we go. Let's have a look. So nutritional information, 100 grams, 346 calories. I think that's 2.2 grams of fat, 0.3 of which are saturates. And per 2 cookies, which is the whole thing, I guess, 25 grams, 87 calories, 0.6 grams of fat, less than 0.1 of which are saturates. So reasonably good for you, reasonably. Seem to get sick quite a lot. I've not been too bad, to be honest with you. It's only been twice this year, I think. So, and I think it's not been too bad. It's just obviously it affects the channel, becomes quite apparent, so, yeah. But yeah, I think it's only twice this year, I think it was. I'm not even sure if the last one was this year, actually. I can't, it could have been. But yeah, it's not been too bad. Yeah, I felt like more, well, it certainly does feel like more. I certainly know that, yeah. I think it's just because it affects the channel for a week and a half, 2 weeks at a time, because you know, that's the problem with it, really. So it ends up feeling like about a month, basically. So, I mean, that's the problem. But also the fact that this month was coupled with the fact that I went away for a weekend. Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Let's see what they're like, these things. So we've got, let's have a look. Well, they look very interesting. So, yeah, see if you can, a bit of a sheen to them. Look a bit like a Werther's original. Interesting. You'll see a bit dark underneath. They're quite nice. A bit of a licorice smell to them, actually. Strange. ASMR package opening. Yes, maybe I should. Maybe I should try and do those a bit more, shouldn't I? Maybe I will. Yeah. Oh. Any dinner plans? So no plans at all at the moment, actually. Yeah, Rick, I've not got any plans at all. I'm going to go to the shops after this, I think. And see what I can find, basically. But I've got no plans. Yeah, what did you have? Anything interesting? Because I'm doing reviews today, I try to be a bit easy on the food I have, because I'm going to be reviewing. I was hoping to about 6 reviews today, not counting all these, but it's not happened. Information: Koreans hate black licorice. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it myself, actually. Some instances I can enjoy it, but they're quite nuanced. One like blackcurrant licorices we have. Everyone under the age of 50 hates black licorice. I know, I never understood it. My dad used to always like licorice all sorts, I used to have the ones that weren't licorice in the set, but that was about it, really. It was a bit bizarre, yeah, but I think you're right. I know. It's quite popular in Northern Europe, and by which I mean Holland, possibly Belgium, Germany, maybe Denmark, I think. Possibly Finland, Sweden, that way. I don't know, but I know in Holland and North Germany, I think it's definitely a thing to have licorice sort of sweets and things. Okay, about 5.3 in width, 3.4. I said width before, didn't I? I think it was meant height. 3.4 in width, and sort of, I don't know. I guess the other height. I guess one's length and width. I don't know. Anyway, well, you know what I'm saying. At 1.8, but it is a bit knobbly. So give it a bit of a rip. There you go. You can see there. Pretty good, doesn't it? It's not very moist. Nice moist looking cake, I think you'd say. I don't know if you'd say it's a biscuit. A bit more like a cake. I would say the orange doesn't smell very orangey. I think that's what's smelling a bit licoricey to me, to be honest with you. I don't know why that is. You had licorice with the dip, yeah, the sherbet dip, yes. I used to have that when I was younger. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like the licorice part of that, and I think you're probably the same. I like just the sherbet on it, really. But yeah, that's the one instance. But blackcurrant licorice is where they don't really taste the licorice at all. Just those blackcurrant chewy sweets. They're very nice. foods that I tasted, the foods that I tested Koreans on. Oh yeah, that the hate for most part are okay. Black licorice, root beer, salt and vinegar crisps. Oh right, yeah. See, well, I agree with them on the black licorice. That is a bit divisive, but root beer and salt and vinegar crisps, definitely a big fan of those. I think they're just called sherbet dips. Is that what they're called? Sherbet dips? Might not be called that. I think they were called that. Yeah, but I know the ones you mean anyway. Alright, let's give this a bit of a taste then. Quite excited for this one. Let's have a go. Oh wow. It's not what I was expecting at all. It's very it's very sweet from the biscuit itself, the cake or whatever it is. Cake biscuit. Just a bit like Jaffa cake consistency on the outside. Whereas it's a bit thicker, so it's a bit more, but it's very sweet. It's a very sweet Jaffa cake. The centre's quite quite bitter in a way, but I guess you could argue that oranges are quite bitter. Interesting, that one. Very interesting. So you've got like a good contrast of flavours there. There's no chocolate involved, but I don't think it matters because it's very sweet. The sort of like the cakes around or whatever it is. It's very very sweet actually. I think it's because it's what I'm normally getting up to when I've turned that camera. I'm just tidying up this plate. Very sweet, very interesting flavours combination. That. So the cake is quite soft. It's got like a nice sort of texture on the outside. A bit not quite as hard as the Jaffa cakes around, but obviously a bit harder because of the way it's been baked, or whatever. And so it goes into very sweet cakes around. That bitter orange taste in the middle. It's a very bitter orange taste. It doesn't really taste of what you typically expect an orange to taste like, insofar as a sweet product's concerned. I quite like that. Yes, I mean blackberry chewy candy, not root. Yes. No, what you mean. Yeah, that sort of that weird salty licorice. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I knew there were two different things, but yeah, root beer I don't mind. No, black licorice, yes, it is very. It's not my cup of tea, but my dad used to love it. Does it taste like orange? Not really. Well, it does in a way, Huffy, but not in the orange you'd expect from like a sort of sweet standpoint. You know what I mean? Like as in like a Terry's chocolate orange or the chocolate orange cream from Quality Street or anything like that. It tastes more like just a bitter tart sort of taste. Yeah, but it contrasts pretty well with the rest of the cakey biscuit though, because that's so sweet. It actually works quite well. It's quite moist, whereas the outside cake is quite not dry, but obviously not moist as a centre. It's interesting. I don't think it tastes like orange that you'd expect, as I say, but it tastes nice actually. I quite like that. It's a good experience. That what's it called again? Those things. Chamonix à l'orange. There you go. Yeah, made by Lou as well. I don't know if you can get them in the UK. 100-year-old recipe. Chamonix cake, orange marmalade. Say it's an orange marmalade. Perfect sweet. It's very sweet. The outside, as I say, the cake itself is very sweet. I quite liked it actually. I think if you did have chocolates, like Huffy was saying, I think then you'd be definitely up in this. I think that would definitely add to it. But it's fair enough that it doesn't, if you know what I mean. But I think for me, yeah, it's a good 4 out of 5. That one, I enjoyed that. Very distinct, very tasty, very good sort of textures and tastes involved with that. I say it won't blow your socks off, but it's very nice. Yeah, very nice. I think if you had chocolate on it, maybe on the outside or somewhere, I think you'd definitely be a 4.5, maybe more. 800 out of 1,000, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I can't do that many stars. Yeah, Redownloaded Star Trek Next Generation is 1 to 7. It's going to take me a long time. 200 gigabytes per season. Goodness me. I would like to watch them all. I must say, the Next Generation I did enjoy. Have you seen the Orville, Rick? It's the Seth MacFarlane take on Star Trek, and obviously he's the guy who did Family Guy and stuff. But he's obviously a Star Trek fan, and it's basically a riff on the Next Generation. It actually is pretty good. It's quite funny in a Seth MacFarlane way, but still manages to be quite seriously Star Trek as well. So worth checking out. There's only 2 seasons of it. I don't know if they're doing any more. First season was the best, of course. Usually is the case with these things. But I would like to watch the other Star Treks, but I don't know. It's just one of those I'd like to do. It'd take a long time. It's one of those where I used to just see the odd episode here and there, Yeah, it's on my list. Heard it was good. Yeah, it's worth watching. As I was saying, it will take you less time than watching all the others, that's for sure. It's basically, if you watch the Next Generation, it's pretty much that. But yeah, it's kind of like a riff on it. It's good. I enjoy the match. I was surprised. I was expecting nothing too much, and I came away quite happy. But yeah. So what else we got? So I mean, let's get these out of the way. I'm not sure. These seem to be quite a savoury snack. The Bellion since 1902, I think that says, or 1802. One in 1902. Yes. Honest fait en France. Possibly says made in France. I'm not sure. Quaquance. There we go. So I think these are just going to be those little crackery type affairs. Let's see what it says in the booklet. Let's have a look. There we go. Yeah. What does it say there? France's favourite crackers brand. This box gives you a selection of delicious Belgian crackers, crisp and delicately baked. So I think they're just going to be crackers. So we probably won't spend too long on these, but they do look pretty nice. You know, there are people who just eat crackers. I mean, I'm not really a meat eater, but for some reason, pâté on crackers I used to love when I was younger. Still do quite like it. And I would never eat pâté now if I hadn't been introduced to it when I was young. I'm quite sure of that. But for some reason, I got quite into it. The end of having like a cracker with some pâté on and a slice of cucumber and some salad cream. Yes, that was a bit of a strange concoction I made up. Yeah. More of a Star Wars guy. Yeah. What do you reckon to the new Star Wars stuff then, Huffy? Very controversial. For me, you know, it probably depends on how old you are, really. I mean, but the new stuff, I don't know. I'm not happy with, really. I'm not very happy with it at all. Yeah. I like those cheesy crackers. I think they're just regular crackers, to be honest with you. Might have some herby bits in. We'll find out, I guess. As I say, it's obviously going to be all in French, I think, so it's going to be difficult. We've got 400 grams, 512 calories, 27 grams of fat, 12 which are saturates, 1 portion, 25 grams, 128 calories, 6.8 grams of fat, 3.1 of which are saturates. Yeah, so we'll see. I like Star Wars prefer series type show, Trekkie for sure. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I think the films are definitely of an interest. Yeah, there are some Star Wars series now, though, aren't there? This Mandalorian and some other one, Kenobi or something. But they've not really. I know people have said they're good. They've not appealed to me really, to be honest with you. A lot of the new Star Treks have not been that great though either, to be honest with you, Rick. I don't know if you've seen any of the new ones. I was very disappointed with a lot of them. To be honest with you, Discovery, Picard, I didn't really enjoy them at all. I thought they kind of missed the point, and there's that new one as well on, I don't know, Paramount Plus, whatever it is. I watched the first episode, and I think it ended with Uhura saying something like "cool" or something like that, and I thought, you know what, I can't deal with that. It just was totally disjointed and not in keeping with the characters, and yeah, I don't know. I just thought it's just modern dialogue on a classic setting, and I thought I understand the point. I understand that might appeal to some people, but for me, it was the off switch. Yeah, the new movies are more action-packed with all these graphics editing, etc. I prefer the old ones because it's more unique and a good classic. Yeah, I remember. It's funny actually. I remember what's his face. What's he called? The guy who played Obi-Wan Kenobi originally, Alec Guinness. I remember he didn't like the Star Wars films apparently because he said there's just too much special effects. And of course, if he saw what it was nowadays, I think he would. And that was the old films he was saying he didn't like because he was obviously a classical actor. You know what I mean? Plays, I don't know, Shakespearean roles and stuff like that probably. Well, you know what I mean, exaggerating, but yeah. Yeah, yes, they're likely making it PC for the woke gen. I say, well, that's a whole other argument, isn't it? But it's all the sort of, I don't know, it's all the new way of acting as well. You know, just the dialogue and things. You know what I mean? It's yeah. I mean, there is all that as well, like you say, but there's just several things about it. Yeah, I agree. Don't like the new ones. Yeah, I do wonder if it's one of those getting old things. You know what I mean? It's like when you say you don't like old new music and stuff. I do wonder if it's one of those. You know. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it is, but then maybe it is. Do you watch many movies and series? I do watch. I did watch a few. What series have I watched recently? Did watch some series recently, but I can't think what it was now. I'd like to watch the Sandman series, but I want to read the comics first. I quite like it. I've always been meaning to for years and just never got around to it. Do like Arcane I liked, so I quite liked animated stuff, so Arcane on Netflix, that was pretty good. I quite like the Avatar series as well from a few years back. You know, not the film or anything, but yeah, they were quite good. I did watch something recently, but I think it's completely left my mind as to what it was. It was Invincible, was it? Yeah, another animated one as well. Don't mind The Boys, but I feel like it's perhaps, I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, Star Trek is trying to make it funny and cute for the more serious tone. Yeah, there was just one episode in Star Trek Discovery where they just literally just swore for the last 30 seconds. It was if let's just have it where we can swear, you know. And they didn't swear for any other episode. It just literally last, you know, 5 minutes or something. It was just so stupid, you know. Yeah, it's just stupid. I just couldn't. My mind just could not comprehend it. I watched Wheel of Time recently, and I love the books of those. I'm rereading them now. I read them 20 odd years ago, and the series was atrocious. I really didn't like that at all. Yeah, last night I watched Greyhound. I suggest if you like Warship, I've not heard of that one. That sounds interesting, Huffy. Yeah, what's that on? Is that one of these subscription channels? I've not heard of that. Well, let's give this an open. I like the look of the box. Looks very nice. Let's have a see. Let's have a look. Right, so we've got a big white bag in there. Anyway, so we'll see what's going. I don't know if it's just going to be all individually. Well, just all separate. Let's find out, shall we? Another ASMR opening, maybe. We're driving you mad, or whatever. It is all a little, maybe a bit like, yeah, I think what you were saying before, Huffy, was a bit like, basically, yeah, there's little, I know what you mean now, I didn't quite comprehend what you meant at first, but I know what you mean, there's little cheese crackery sort of nibbles you get, and they probably are a bit like those, actually. So you do get different types. This triangle one, for instance, has some shenanigans in it, whereas this one doesn't. They look quite interesting, actually. Yeah, a bit more interesting than I thought. I was thinking just going to be some stuff you can spread things on, but they do look like Huffy was saying, those cheesy, some like 8s as well. Let's take a few out and see what we've got. I'm not going to empty them all. I think that'd be a bit extreme, but but yeah, basically seems to have. I mean, obviously I might be missing some, but I don't think I am. I've got some 8s, which are possibly. I think it's the B actually. I think it's the B from Bellion, I guess. But it looks more like an 8. Probably easier to make them like that rather than an actual B. I don't know. It looks strange, but anyway, it looks to me an 8 to me. Look very nice. Does say there is some different ones. I say these ones with these weird chivy bits in or whatever. That's quite interesting. Yeah. Now, so much stuff to watch. I won't finish everything. It's too long. Yeah, there's so much, isn't there? There's so much. It's hard to keep on top of stuff. It really is. Yeah, what kind of things do you watch then, Divinus? Yeah, you watching anything there? Or you just sort of given up because it's too much? The B looks like an 8. Yeah, unless it is an 8, of course, but I don't see why it would be an 8. Well, yeah. Interesting, isn't it? It is interesting. Alright, I don't know if it's worth measuring these particularly. They are just various shapes. I don't think we'll bother measuring these. There's not much. Well, maybe we'll give them a quick measure. Why not? Just a quick measure, just so we can tell if they do ever shrink. About 3.1 centimeters there. We'll probably just measure it roughly. Because as I said, I don't think there's any point going too crazy on this. 3.1 again. 3.1. Alright, so this to be the common size so far. About 3.5 on that bit though. The other side, it's not a perfect triangle or whatever. Well, you know what I mean. Equilateral, whatever it is. I don't know. 2.3 centimeters there. Oh, sorry, 3 centimeters there. Seems to be around 3 centimeters. Alright, I measured a few of them, for better or worse. Let's have let's see. Sometimes I miss years ago. Got excited for a show coming out the weekend or weeknight. Yeah, and then we get so spoiled now TV wise. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it is one of those, isn't it? You know, you could see them all at once or whatever. But I know what you mean. They're trying to space them out a bit more now, aren't they? I think Netflix is trying to do that, so it stops people just subscribing for a week and watching everything. How do you resist the temptation of eating all your chocolate? Well, it's very difficult, Huffy. It has to be said, it's very difficult. It can be quite difficult. It has to be said. But you know, generally, I might finish off some of the things I've reviewed, or at least nibble them a bit. But yeah, but it is very difficult. You have to be quite strong-willed, I think. All right, let's give these a bit of a taste. And this 8-1, bit of a lopsided 8. But let's give it a go. See. Interesting. Quite a creamy taste to it, that one, actually. I was expecting like a cheesy taste, like Huffy mentioned, but yeah, very sort of creamy taste. Yeah, not really cheesy at all. Let's try this one. Yeah, cheesy. Yeah, no, not cheesy. No, not cheesy at all. Like, well, no, more creamy. Like a creamy, like a cream cracker taste, but rather than the sort of Jacob's cream cracker where they're quite crunchy, I guess you'd say, for want of a better term. You know, they're quite hard. These ones are quite soft I'd say quite creamy. Not even like a sour cream, no, just literally like a sort of just a very, yeah, say if you imagine a cream cracker, like a Jacob's cream cracker that wasn't quite as hard, just melted in the mouth a bit. It's just like that, really. Very, yeah, very sort of, yeah, a literal cream cracker. I mean, but obviously not like cream as in, actual cream, but just melts in the mouth, goes all quite smooth, and does have a creamy, yeah, creamy sort of taste. Yes. He sends me a box of half-over leftover chocolate each Christmas, yeah. Sometimes I have to do that really. I'll take to my friends like the chocolates I haven't finished and stuff like that, so that they can finish them, because I'd eat too much otherwise, and I have to be, you have to be careful. You know what I mean? Let's try this one then, because this is the odd one out. Let's see, the one that's definitely got something different about it. Let's see what this one's like. This one definitely has something a bit more savoury about it. I can't quite place the taste as such, but there's definitely a bit more of a savoury twang to that one. Interesting, really interesting. I think they're okay. These, they're a bit snacky. Basically, they're just like those sort of weird nibbles you'd get, at a buffet or something like that, or when you got some, cheese and crackers and things. Or you could just have a pack of these going to, wondering about if that's your sort of inclination. But yeah, this one again. Just tried this one. This one might be a bit more cheesy, Huffy. It's definitely got something on top of it. I don't know if you can quite see that texture on top. I'd definitely describe it as cheesy, but definitely something there. It's more crunchy actually. There's a bit of crunches on top. This one tastes a bit more soury actually. I would say if anything that was a bit more of a sour cream taste to that one. Interesting. I think they are pretty good overall, these ones. As I said, there's a few different types. There's these hexagon plain cream ones. There's like these triangular ones with the sort of chivy bits in or something. And then there's these ones with you can see that those lumpy bits on top. And then there's the 8s, which I think are just there just because they look like 8s or Bs or whatever. I don't think there's any more. A bit hesitant to pour them all out because it'll just be impossible to get back in. It seems to be all of them. So quite an interesting selection. You do have a bit of a different taste to them actually. They're quite nice. I think they're quite interesting. Heading off to Sainsbury's. Oh, have a good one, Huffy. Have a good one. Let me know what you get. See you soon. Good to chat to you again. Yeah, I think these are not too bad, these ones, I feel like they're quite a nice little snack. I don't think they're going to blow your socks off. You could do whatever you like with them. You could spread stuff on them, have something good going on about that, really. But, I mean, they're quite different. They are pretty different. This one, as I say, has a definite nice crunch to it. A bit of a sour taste. I don't know what it is exactly, but that's what it has. And so this one's got like a bit of I guess you could describe it as a chivy taste. I'm not sure, a bit more savoury. And this one's just pure, like a creamy taste. And the 8s, what will the 8s like? A bit like the creamy ones again. It's a bit pointless, the 8 ones really. But just there just to look like the branding or whatever, presumably. I think these are alright, these ones. I don't know if they're obviously a very sort of savoury set of snacks. I'm not sure how easy it is to, rate them as, alongside other things, but they are pretty nice. I guess they're an equivalent to like peanuts and things like that, I guess. It's that kind of snack, you know what I mean? So I think for me, I feel like they're quite distinct, they're quite different, they're quite nice. But they're not going to blow your socks off by any means. They're just a nice little snack, So I think for me, probably, 3.5. I think for what they are, I'm going to add half a mark, but I think it's probably a 3.5. Probably a 3 normally, but I think because they do what they do and they do it relatively well, and they have a bit of a difference between them, they taste quite different. I think I'll up it by half a mark and give them a 3.5 out of 5. And they're pretty good, those. They are quite nice, and they're very unoffensive, you know what I mean? So, not bad. Hi there, Joe. How's it going for you today? Yes, late as always. No problem at all. Well, better late than never, that's what they say. Yeah, hope you're doing all right, Joe. Great to see you. Yeah, would it be the fact if I started at 3:30, Joe, would you, 4:30 rather, would you appear at 5? Is that the gist of it? Or is it just, is it just the timing's bad for you? But it's no problem at all. Don't worry. I appreciate you coming. You always make a big effort, so it really is appreciated. So thank you. Yeah, we just reviewed some sort of crackery snacks. They're pretty interesting. You know, bit run of the mill, and you know you would not be too surprised from them, but they were pretty good. Doing a French special taste, you probably guessed. So let's see what else we got. I've got some sweeties, so I might do. There's lots of small little snacks like this, really. So let's have a look. This one I'm quite interested in. Napolitan. I guess the French pronunciation of that. I guess it's like a cake. Feels quite soft. You can see again it's another Lou product. It's like individually wrapped. They've probably taken it from a bigger box, maybe. Snack surprise. So you can see that's the actual box there, probably. But it does look nice. Look at that. These delicious soft cakes from Lou bring you the classic Napolitan flavour. Yeah, they look very nice, don't they? So I'm assuming it's a box of those normally. They do look very nice. Yes. Watching UFC tonight, João. Oliveira. That's from Brazil is the main event. The time is a bit of a problem because the live starts right when we start lunch. See, okay. Right. No problem, João. No problem. And that's the problem with these lives and things. You know, it's always going to be difficult for someone, I think, and it's why I have to just sort of stick to a time. As long as I stick to the same time, I think at least then people know when it is. Yes, it's one of those. Could just watch it later. Well, it's nice that it comes live though. It's good to see him live, of course. Yeah, I do like it's nice to chat to you live. I think that's the one thing about the live videos, isn't it? You do get to sort of interact with people a bit more and stuff like that. So it's quite nice. Okay, let's give this a bit of an opener. So it looks a bit unassuming, doesn't it? I think you'd say that, but obviously it does come in a bigger box normally. They just couldn't fit it into the snack surprise parcel. So I guess it's fair enough. Let's have a look then. It looks a bit like I don't know what it look like. It does seem like some kind of cake product, a bit like this in the UK, but having said that, I can't put my finger on it. It looks very interesting. Look at that. Yes, it looks very nice. Move that packaging away a bit. Yeah, so yeah, look at that. It looks very neat and tight, doesn't it? A bit squished at one side, but I think we can let it off. And there you go on the main camera. Look at that. That does look pretty nice, actually, doesn't it? I have to say, that does look pretty good. Yeah, wow. Certainly looks the part, definitely. So I haven't seen these in the UK. Let's have a bit of a measure then, shall we? About 7.1 centimetres there. Give or take a millimetre. Width at the side, 3.2, and the height, about 2.6. Obviously, it's got the different layers here. I'll just measure the sponge layer and the thingy layer. I think that's. I can imagine them making those bigger or smaller at some point. So the sponge layer is probably around. Well, it's got icing on the top. I think it's probably about 9 millimeters. And then a bit of the icing. Yeah, 9 millimeters, including the icing as well, with the little hundreds of thousands, whatever they are. And a little middle layer. About 7, 8 millimeters as well. Interesting. But, a bit hard to measure accurately, those. How do I watch UFC? See. I remember you saying not really much of a sport person, Joe. I'm sure you said that once. Yeah. Alright, let's give a bit of a nibble then. I think this looks pretty good. Smells very cocoa-y, so yeah. We'll just move things out of the way. Let's give it a bit of a taste. Let's do it. Quite bitter. Obviously, hundreds and thousands of things on top. I would say there's not much taste coming from it really. It just tastes of cake. It looks great. But as I say, I'm not really getting much from it at all. I'm not getting any real chocolate sauce. I'm just getting the sort of I think it's from either the icing sugar on top or the hundreds of thousands, just a sort of bitter taste kind of thing. Almost like a bit like I wouldn't say a bitter marzipan, but something a bit like that. There's not really an almondy taste, but It's alright, but it doesn't look as good. It doesn't taste as good as it looks, basically. I'm just getting a few different kinds of sponge, really, and a bit of a bitter taste. I can't quite put my finger on. versed well enough in the realms of cake to be able to tell exactly what that tastes like. But I've tasted it before. And it's kind of like it's a bit of a it's like a sort of bitter sponge taste to it. I can't quite think what it is basically. But there's not really, it doesn't really taste of, there's not really like a cocoa sponge, it's not really like a vanilla sponge, it's just like a sort of bittery sponge taste. Now it could be from the hundreds of thousands on the top, whatever the other sprinkles, like from that sort of icing sugar top. But I can't taste any of the, particularly the chocolate sauce. I mean, it might come through, if it wasn't there, you'd be able to tell, but I'm not really getting much from it. I'm not really getting like a chocolate sponge taste particularly or anything, I'm just sort of getting that sort of bittery sponge taste. I think it's not that great. I mean, it looks great, but it's just not, it just doesn't taste as good as it looks, really. It's very disappointing. I think cake products tend to be a bit like that. If you have like a Cocoa chocolate sponge, it tends to not, even though I love chocolate sponges don't taste as good as vanilla sponges. Just for whatever reason, just don't have that as a nice taste, really. You need like very lots of, buttercream or other icings and things like that to make them really taste nice, have something in them, And this it doesn't really have any of that. It doesn't really have any. There's that little layer of chocolate cream, whatever, but you can't really taste it. I mean, probably if it was not in there, you'd probably taste obvious that it wasn't, but it doesn't really add much to it being in the consistency or the amount that it is. So very disappointing, that one. Very disappointing. I think for me that one, yeah, just disappointing. It still tastes okay, but there was just not really much flavour going on. Not really much textures either. Not really, couldn't really get any creamy taste from it. Hundreds of thousands of sprinkly things didn't add too much, So I think it's about 2 out of 5. But it looked great. I think it looked a 5 out of 5, to be honest with you. But yeah, tasted a 2. Shame, that one. Shame. Yes, how are you doing these blessed Saturday? Yes. Not doing too bad, thank you, Joe. Not doing too bad. I think yeah, a bit behind. I wanted to do more today. I've been tired today, stuff like that. I've still been recovering, I think, from the week and a possible second cold. I'm not sure. What's the weather like where you are, Brusque? Mostly cloudy. Temperature of 26 degrees, but certainly not that here. The wind is blowing from the east at 5 miles an hour. Which is 63%. I'll see if I can do mine. I'm not sure if I can. Let's have a look. How am I doing it? I think I am. Let's try. The keyboard's a bit further away. I spelled it right. Let's take away the T on the end, which I did by accident. Let's have a look. Okay. I feel like it's kind of hard to put flavour in sponge cakes. Even for large company. Yeah, I think you're right there, Joe. I think it's something a bit, yeah, they need more cream and things like that, but I imagine that's quite hard to mass produce because of, sell by dates and stuff like that, and quality, keeping it soft and not splurging out. I think you're probably right there. I think that's why they, probably why they find it difficult to mass produce these things that aren't sold individually in cake shops. I can understand that. What's my weather like then? Conditions are partly cloudy with temperature of 16 degrees. The wind is blowing from the south at 11 kilometres an hour, 7 miles an hour. But no humidity apparently, or unknown humidity. Yeah, so there we go. So I guess it's spring-like for you now, Joe. Is that right? Getting into spring? I'm not sure if you're in the. Yeah, I'm sure you're in the southern hemisphere, aren't you? Yes, you must be. Yes, yeah. I know Brazil, the equator does intersect it, doesn't it? But I think you're in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so I've got a few good products here. I've got too many more, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. Got this one here. This one, Saint Michel, Madeleine cake, Nappe chocolate, chocolat. Okay, Fabrique in France, made in France, isn't it? Fabrique in France. Okay, plein air. Look at that. I like that. Plein air. What do we call free range in the UK, don't we? Okay, eggs from plein air. There we go. All right. I assume that's the translation anyway. Let's see what this is. Let's have a look, see what this is about. Madeleine chocolat. There we go. Saint Michel brings you these indulgent chocolate-coated madeleines. They taste just like homemade. Well, we'll see about that. Okay, yeah. They look very nice, don't they? They look pretty good. Whether they'll taste like homemade, I don't know. But the individually wrapped again. What's the calories like at the bottom? Let's have a see. We can. 100 grams, 474 calories, 20 grams of fat, I think, 5.9 which are saturates, and per 1 madeleine, 25 grams, 119 calories, 7 grams of fat, 1.5 of which are saturates. Alright, yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, the spring equinox has begun. Flowers galore, ah yes, yeah. Here it's just all leaves falling from trees, yeah, so bit of a shame. Oh well. But it's, you know, one of those, at least it means in the springtime it will look nice again. So yeah, just gotta, you know, bear with it, I guess. Alright, here we go. Not to mention, you have to keep the cake softness. Yeah, that's true as well. That's a good point, actually, Joe, as well. Yeah, but you're right. So there's a lot of going on in there, isn't there? And obviously, yeah, keep away from preservatives and things. So yes. All right, let's have a look at this then. This looks very nice, actually, doesn't it? Look at this. Wow. Wowza. Yeah, it does look very nice. Look, it's like a little boat, cake boat. Feels a bit greasy underneath. Actually, there's a lot of grease feel to it underneath. Not sure what's in the chocolate madeleine, whether there's anything in there. It looks like could be some kind of lemony type scent, I'm not sure. Give a bit of a measure first before I chop it, but yeah, definitely a greasy feel to the bottom of the chocolate is. About 7.7 centimetres in length there. In width, so it's not quite the same, so a bit rough, but 4.8. In height, again the lowest to the top. Okay. Around 2.4, roughly. Roughly. Alright, let's give it a bit of a chop. Let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. Alright, so it's just a plain sponge, basically. Very thin layer of chocolate, though. But yeah. Smells okay. Smells alright, but does it taste nice? Well, I'll just give my... I was going to say hands white, whatever, but there we go. Let's give it a taste then. Let's say quite a low amount of chocolate, really, despite what it looks like. So let's have a go. Let's have a taste. Despite the chocolate being quite a thin layer, it's very prominent actually. It's a very strong dark chocolate. Sponge is okay. It's quite light and fluffy. There's no real taste to it though. A bit like a sort of Jaffa Cake sponge again, but rather be a bit hard on the outside or anything. It's just quite soft. It's a very soft Jaffa Cake sponge. It's okay, but I feel like it definitely needs something in the centre of it, really. It tastes like a Jaffa Cake, but without any centre, basically, without any orange centre or anything like that, you know, so it's that kind of thing. So I think you could probably imagine that would be quite a bit disappointing, and it's a bit like that, really. It's just, yeah, a sort of flavourless sponge, really. You know, there's no real vanilla taste to the sponge. I'm sure there is something that's in there, but I can't really taste it particularly. Yeah, I feel like that's just an okay product. The chocolate is pretty strong though. You can definitely taste it, but it has a very greasy consistency to it, or feel to it at the bottom, which is disappointing. I don't know why that is really, but there you go. But yeah, it basically tastes like a Jaffa Cake, but without any sort of flavoured filling, really, any jelly filling. So I think it could do with being a bit like having sort of lemon, what's the word, not juice, but you know, some kind of lemon centre in there to moisten the cake a bit, or something like that. You know, something a bit interesting, but it doesn't have that. So I think it's okay. It's probably a classic recipe in this, that, and the other, but I think, as I say, a Jaffa Cake with no filling, Jaffa Cake with no flavour is basically what it is, and I think for me that's not a great experience. It's okay though. I think for me it's probably 2 out of 5, that one. It probably suffers from the fact that it is a classic recipe. It probably is perfect and really well done, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't really have much of a flavour to it. So it's one of those where, you know, maybe it's I don't know, a sort of recipe that is perhaps wasted on me, maybe, but I'm not. So I think it's perhaps maybe a bit dated, maybe you could say. There we go. Not too bad though. Not too bad. All right. So what else we got there? Not yeah, got this. Well, all right. Well, I'll give this a go. It's a Lou Grainy bar or Granny bar. It's meant to be grainy. Translation. Those based like Rice Krispie pieces and cornflake pieces and things. That's quite interesting. Covered in chocolate. Let's have a look. The machine's meant to come in a pack of a few, but an exquisite French cereal bar containing delicious chocolate pieces, corn, rice flour, oat flakes, wheat flour, and malted rye flakes. Let's say rye then. The perfect way to start your day. Okay. So basically, looks like just a cereal bar. Yes. How's the culture trick-or-treating in the UK? It's more for kids in the UK. I think some adults are doing it a bit more than they used to. When I was younger, but it was definitely a kids thing, you know. When I was younger, at least anyway, you would never get anyone above the age of perhaps 8 doing it, maybe 10 at most. You know, it's very much a children's thing, like unlike in the US, where it's very much centered around sort of young adults doing it. Maybe, well, people of all ages, maybe, but definitely a young adult thing, I think. So yeah, but yeah, so in the UK it's a bit more like. But I think sort of adults have parties and things now. I don't think they go out trick or treating. It's still seen as a children's thing, maybe with their kids to look after them, whatever. But yeah, yeah. How about you? Where you are, Joe? Is there anything where you are? Looks a light one, this one. Yeah, it does look a light one, this one. Yeah, certainly does. There's not much to say about it either, really. There's no real blurb on the back, I don't think. So we'll just give this an open and a taste. Definitely looks like a sort of breakfasty bar, doesn't it? You know. But definitely some nice chocolate chunks in there, actually. I haven't said all that. Let's put the other camera on. Definitely worth looking at. You can see there's lots of chunky chocolate pieces there. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good, but definitely a bit like a sort of Rice Krispie cake bar, mixed with cornflake pieces and stuff like that. 8.7 centimeters in the length, whatever, and the width. 3 centimeters, 3.1. In height, a bit knobbly, but we'll give it a go. At 1.4. Okay, there we are. Yeah. That's pretty packed with stuff, this one. Does it take place both in big cities and small ones? I think so, yeah, I think it does, Joe, yes. Yeah, it's just a thing for kids, really, just to wander about, and get sweets, basically, yeah. It's not a very serious thing. I don't think people really do any tricks or anything like that, generally. Yeah, so it's not too bad, but yeah, it's not really, but yeah, you don't have to be in the big cities for it, Yes, it does look good. Yeah, it does look a nice one. Quite soft to snap because it's bending a bit. Yeah. Let's give it a bit of a taste then, I think. Let's give it a try. Does look a nice one, like you say. Let's see. Well, definitely has a tang to it. I don't know what that's from. Could be from the rye flakes, maybe. The malted rye flakes definitely give it a bit of a twang. Instead of malt loaf in the UK. Has that twangy taste to it, but as well as the chocolate and other things. So just give it a bit of a twang. Not sure I'm a massive fan of that twangy taste. Just maybe a bit not really for me, but obviously it's got big chocolate pieces in. I mean, which I think does add to it. It does it's the Mars triple treats that we had recently, all those bounty ones and things, where they were just terrible bars because they just didn't have anything interesting about them. This one was basically one of those done right, really. This has a good amount of chocolate in there, just to give it a bit of a taste. It's not too bad at all. I think the problem with it is it's just that bit of a twangy rye taste, but that's not, might just be me, really. I think it's generally okay. I think it's just, as I say, imagine a Rice Krispie cake or a cornflake cake, that kind of thing. Got that sort of crunch in there, quite standard, covered in a bit of chocolate, with big chocolate chunks in there, which are quite nice. I think generally, though, I could probably say that it's just a nice bar, really. I don't think it's going to blow your socks off. It's just a nice sort of cereal bar to have for breakfast or something like that, with a bit of a chocolate taste, just to sort of give it a bit of an added oomph. But yeah, it's okay. I don't think I can rate it massively high, because I say it is kind of like a breakfasty bar, but for what it is, I think it's pretty good. That rye taste for me is a bit off-putting, but I think that's just for me. I think generally sort of there's sort of that malty taste anyway. Just is a bit too much of a twang for me, but it still wasn't too bad actually. It wasn't a massively dominating taste. So I think for me, probably a 2.5, a 3. I think, I don't know. I give it the benefit of the doubt, say a 3, but it's probably a 2.5 really. But I think a 3 because of the fact it is set out to do something a bit different, to be a bit more breakfast bar-y, and I think it kind of achieves that pretty well. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and say a 3 there. Not too bad, that one. Not too bad. Yes. So So I can move that. Yes, down here the country doesn't exist. Yeah, it looks like a Northern Hemisphere feature. Yeah, I think it's all Northern European, isn't it? So it's probably spread to the US that way, I think is the gist of it, maybe. So, you know, obviously Southern Europe, it doesn't really, you know, Portugal, Spain, I don't think they really have it, I don't think. It definitely, yeah, I think that's, you know, is the gist of it. So, so I think that's what it is, I think. It's interesting, though. It is interesting. But, yeah, it's one of those where I think that's where it originates from, that kind of thing. I think it's quite an interesting thing to have. I say more of a kids thing in the UK though. Underwhelming. Well, it is what it is, Joe. I think it's like you said. You know, it does look nice. It is a typical breakfasty bar thing. It's not. You know, 3 out of 5 is still a good score. Really, I think most chocolatey products and things like that are quite tasty and quite nice. And they're, you know, on average a 3 out of 5, so it is pretty good. I think I'd just say a 2.5 out of 5 because when you compare it to, you know, perhaps a sort of chocolate covered biscuit, which I sort of say are about 3 out of 5. It probably isn't as good as that, but it is trying to be something else. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, and you know, because it is sort of like a breakfast bar, a bit more, maybe a bit more healthy, you know, stuff in it, maybe. So give it the benefit of the doubt there. Give it the benefit of the doubt. Yes, let's have a see. So what else we got? Yes, so we got let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a see. So should I do these ones? Yeah, got these Haribo, yes, Orangina Pick chocolate sweets here. They've got like, what's that say? Sensation Pick, One Lightning. I think they're meant to be sour basically. I don't know if pick means sour in French, I'm not sure. New form. Okay. There you go. So 400 grams. There we go. 352 calories. 0.5 grams of fat, less than 0.1 which is saturated, but full of sugar, I imagine. So there we go. Per portion, per 25 grams. That's actually say that. It just says that's weird. It says 4%. I have no idea what's going on with that bit there. I don't know. It seems to say per portion 25 grams. Not tell you what the things are. Not sure what's going on there. It looks quite interesting, this one. I'm assuming it's just 2 flavours. Like an orange flavour and things, yeah. Interesting. I was wondering whether countries in Europe have it or not. Yeah, I assume it's a Northern European thing. I think so. Other countries, yes. It looks like a gold power. I know, they certainly are. Yeah, certainly are. This will look pretty good, these. Let's have a say. I quite like Haribo sweets, but obviously not too healthy, I don't think. But there we go. Let's give a bit of an open then. Let's have a see. Oh, there we go. Got the 2 types here. There's just 2 of them in there. Let's have a see. Let's give a bit of a measure. Alright, may as well do it before we forget. Both of them are the same. Roughly 3.3 centimetres in height. Good for the bottle. A lot of the Orangina bottles, don't they? About 1.6. Yeah, not bad. And the stem, 7 millimetres. Yeah, not too bad. You can see basically the sort of Orangina bottle shapes, which are always good. Remember those Orangina bottles, those glass bottles, always look pretty good. I always remember getting them on holiday when I was in Portugal, I think. Those look quite nice. Very sort of reminiscent of a nice holiday. Yeah, all right, let's give them a bit of a go. I'm expecting like a sour taste. Let's have a see. Very chewy, but yeah, quite sour. Quite tough actually. So just give you a bit of that sparkling orangey taste, I guess. Not bad, but very chewy. A bit too chewy, I think. Yes, you could eat lots of it. Yes, this is it. They are very moorish. You can just have about 10 of them at once. I do quite like the look of it, actually, the way it blends in a bit. It's quite nice. It just seems to taste of another flavour. Could be imagining it, but let's see. I can't see any description. I'll see if maybe there's a Portuguese one. We've got German, Italian, and French. I can't translate those, unfortunately. Fruit gums, I think that says there. Wouldn't say the flavours though. I assume it's orange and possibly strawberry. but it doesn't really say. Yes. Was Italian there any good? But I think it just says fruit gums. Obviously a bit sour. Interesting. They're okay. I quite like sour sweets. These ones aren't blowing my socks off. You know, as I'm quite a big sour sweet fan generally. I do quite like sour sweets. They're sort of the ones I quite like actually. These like sort of gummy sweets. These ones are alright, but nothing special. And they look great though. I like the idea. I like the way they look like little Orangina, you know, glasses, bottles, what have you. But sour sweets go, they just were a bit too tough, a bit too one note. The flavours weren't too interesting. And I think the fact that they were just so tough, you know, you sort of end up swallowing them before you chewed them really. So they were alright. I think a bit below average as far as sour sweets are concerned. They were still nice, but you know, if you just compare them to Tangfastics, whatever the Haribo sour sweets they do, they just weren't as good as those. I would say they're probably average sour sweets, Tangfastics. I think these are below those. I think they're probably, yeah, probably a bit below average, as I say. Still nice, but below average sour sweets. A 2 out of 5, you know. So they're still nice though and everything, not horrible, but they're just a bit too chewy, a bit too one note. Yeah, don't know. Just not as good as the average sour sweet, but still interesting. But a bit of a shame, really. A bit of a shame, but not too bad. Right, so we have yes, Union got these Haribo Dragibus. Yes, they must be Drages, whatever they're called. Haribo, Cebu La Vie. I think that says the good life. I think I'm not sure. Sans colorant artificial. Was that with artificial colorants or without? I assume it's without. We've got 4 types there. All pretty good. Okay. Well, I think that's continuing the thing there. That's I don't know what that's saying for kids. Maybe I don't know. In the UK, it's for kids and grown-ups. I think it's possibly vegetarian veggie. I like that way it says veggie there. There we go. And again, I can't really translate that. 100 grams, 375 calories, less than 0.5 grams of fat, less than 0.1 of which are saturates. Not quite high in sugar. Okay, let's give this a bit of an open then. Let's see. Quite a small pack, definitely. But not too bad. I said off for 5 different kinds. Original it says, with some top hats. Some shoes. No. Okay. Let's have a look. So get 1 of each type. Yeah, put the other camera on so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. 4 and a yellow one. I think that's the. And there's a green one as well. So I'm sure it said there's. I've got, yeah. Well, I had the 5 different colours there, but there is actually 6. Got a, I think that was one, a red one. So, what's going on there? Strange that have more flavours than it is on the thing. Distribution's not the best, but it's okay. And we'll have a look at the distribution. Yes. Hopefully the killers won't find out when you're live. Yeah, I know this is it. Well, hopefully not. Oh, just got a bit of a lag on the camera there. Hopefully it's okay. Fingers crossed it comes back. Oh dear. Yeah, I think we lost a bit of the picture there. Let's have a look. Not sure what's happened there. And the streaming thing's just cut out a bit. I don't know why. It seems to be saying it's okay. I don't know if you can hear me alright, Joe. Let me know if you can. But hopefully it's alright. Yeah, I think it's just lost a bit of the. Okay, I'm not sure if it's back there. Yeah, I don't know if it's back there or not, Joe. Hopefully it's alright. I'm trying to. Yeah, I think what it is basically. Yeah, lots of people have just sort of. There's like a big event on not too far away, so. Oh dear, yeah. I don't know. I might have to. I'm not sure. Can you see me alright at all, Joe? Is it sort of quite bad? What do you think? Can you hear anything at all? Hopefully it's okay. Might just have to push through this last review, I think. Yeah. I think it's just, yeah, basically, I'm on a 5G connection, so I think a lot of people have just sort of moved out of some event that was going on, I think. Yeah, so I live near the city centre, so it's a bit, it is a bit problematic if a lot of people suddenly appear or not. Oh dear. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm back. Maybe I'm back, maybe I'm not. I don't know if you're still there, Jan. It might be alright. I think it's saying it's okay. The connection's still off, to be honest with you, so I'm not sure. I might have to wrap this up quite quickly, I think. It looks to be still a bit up and down. Don't know if you're still there, Jan. Don't know if you can still hear me or not. Not sure. It did go a bit funny. Yeah. Oh well. I'll try and wrap this up. I'll just do it as best I can. You never know. It might work out okay. I'm just going to assume it's working all right. And there we go. But there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll just have to keep going. It might come through a bit slow, but there we go. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can do, as I say, unfortunately, which is a pain, to say the least. But there we go. All right, so we've got these 5, 6 different kinds. The distribution. Let's have a look. Let's have a see. We've certainly got fewer yellows than anything else, that's for sure. Let's have a see. All right. Let's say so. I am persevering as if the connection's okay because there's nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately, it's just the troubles of having a 5G connection. Annoyingly, when there's loads of people using it at the same time. So not too bad the distribution, but you can clearly see there's more of these sort of brown ones, black ones. 9 of those, 5 of them, 5 of them, 3, 4, and 6. So you know, obviously, if it did dish these out a bit better, you know, you could end up with pretty much 5 of each of them, pretty much. So yeah, so it could be a bit better that really. But there we go. Bit of a problem, just the way it goes. Yeah. Well, let's give them a bit of a taste then. Let's see. Give them a bit of a try. They're all about a centimetre long. As I say, I'm not going to linger with this too much because the connection's not being very helpful. So we'll just try and persevere through it. So let's give it a try. Like very nice actually these. I like little jelly beans, but a bit softer. That was a really nice flavour, that actually, a bit sort of grapey, I guess. Lemon one's a bit sort of quite floury, actually. Maybe a bit too floury. I wonder if it tastes of lemon. But there's definitely like a floury taste to it. And quite chewy as well. Pretty nice to be honest with you. But unusual flavours, the yellow one at least. And they're quite nice, sort of soft, sugary sweets. Actually, I quite like these. The green one's a bit limey. Maybe a bit appley, but let's try this blue one. The blue one's quite like maybe like a blue cherry or blue strawberry flavour, something like that. Quite distinct flavours. It's hard to tell what they are because I can't tell. It didn't tell me unfortunately on the wrapper. Even if it did, it probably in French. Let's try this one as well. Don't have a flowery flavour, nor a sort of flowery flavour. A bit strange those. Or the yellow one and the red one tastes quite flowery. A bit odd that, to be honest with you. But they'd be pretty good. These would be almost 5 out of 5 if it wasn't for the fact the flavours were a bit too random in this. The yellow and the orange, the yellow and the red case. Just a bit too flowery, a bit too odd. Not too sure what to make of those really. A bit disappointing. The rest of the flavours are quite nice, but I'd say those two are just a bit odd really. And the distribution is not the best. But they're generally pretty nice textures and nice consistencies. I do quite like these. But just the flavours are a bit strange. I can't really discern what they are. But the the yellow and the red ones are just a bit flowery and a bit strange, you know. Let's try them both again. It's tastes like using a flower. Very unusual. It's soapy almost. But the rest of them are quite spot on flavours really. So if it wasn't for those two, maybe the distribution, these would be probably a good 4, 4.5, maybe even a 5. But and distribution issues. Those odd 2 flavours. do loathe them quite a lot, really. I think those two flavours are just a bit too flowery. I mean, if you like rose sort of Turkish delight, you might be okay with this. That's a flowery flavour, but it's not my favourite kind of flavour, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think for me probably a 3.5, 3 out of 5. I think basically just a bit disappointing, really. Just a bit disappointing. But oh well, nice product though. But just a bit. This is two of the flavours are just a bit too out there for me. Yeah, so a bit of a disappointment on that one. Right, guys, well, probably best to wrap it up, really. I'd say the connection's just gone down. I'm sorry about that. It's just nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. It's just my internet's just not the best. I might need to try and keep it to an hour, maybe, on Saturdays or something like that, just to make sure I can finish in good time. I knew I should have finished a couple of products ago, but I tried to, I thought, well, I'll fit more in. Just didn't quite happen, unfortunately. And I'm not sure if the chat's connected properly. It could be that the chat's not quite there. I don't know. Yeah, let's have a see. I'm not sure. Okay, yes. Yeah, I couldn't see the messages, Jow. Sorry about that. The messages weren't updating. I'll just get my keyboard out so I can type to you and then hopefully you can see. I think because I'd restarted the thing, the messages weren't going there. Yes. Let's see. There you go. I'll just send the... There we go. Oh, sorry about that, Jar. Thank you so much. I'm glad it was coming through okay then, was it? Okay, that's good. Yeah, so it came through all right, did it, in the end? I couldn't tell because my streaming software was telling me it wasn't coming through very well. Let's see. Just trying to type a bit. As I said, not sure if you can quite make this out, but there you go. Hopefully you can. Yeah, I don't think when I click on the option, it won't bring up the text anymore either because it's kind of reset itself. So it's been a bit of a pain, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's the problem with live views, I think, when your connection goes a bit bad. But hopefully it's alright now, and hopefully you saw the gist what I was saying. I tried to wrap it up a bit quicker than normal, just because obviously I was aware of the fact that you might not even be able to hear it. But yeah, the gist of those other ones, 3 out of 5, they were just a bit too odder flavours in a couple of them. Tastes a bit too flowery and not very fruity, And the other ones tasted pretty nice, but the consistency was good. But those two poor flavours just really let them down, really. And they were just, I don't know why, there's nothing to do with the colours either. You'd expect like a raspberry or strawberry taste for the red ones and a lemon one for the yellow ones. You just didn't get that at all. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, no worries about deleting the message, by the way. And no, it wasn't at all. No, it's fine, don't worry. Yeah, no, it wasn't at all. No, don't worry. But I know what you mean, because you're obviously unsure. It's not your first language and things, but don't worry at all. It was fine. Well, yeah. All right, well, yeah, I'm sorry for the bad connections at the end there. I'm not sure. It's a bit of a pain. It's just, until I can get decent internet in my area, it's just going to be the way it is, I think, unfortunately. So it's just something to bear in mind. But hopefully, as I say, it seems to be okay now. Maybe I just needed to reset my router. I don't know. Sometimes I have to keep doing that. It's a bit of a pain, unfortunately, but there we are. But at least it kind of came back. But yeah, maybe Saturdays is a difficult day, I think, for this kind of thing. I don't know. No, it's been okay, hasn't it? Just today it went a bit pear-shaped, but there we are. Yeah, and you, Joe, have a good one yourself. Have a great one. Thanks for your support. Thanks for turning up. It's very nice to chat to you again. Hope you have a lovely day. Sorry for those connection issues, but thanks for thanks for persevering for the last 10 minutes or so. Oh, thanks a lot, Joe. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. I'll stop now before it becomes even worse. There we go. See you later, Joe. Thanks. Bye. See you later, everyone, as well. Thanks.